Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Stephen Curry's statement was clear and direct that he wants the Warriors to bring back Gary Payton too. Stephen Curry wants an NBA champion teammate re-signed as he pushes for off-season moves from the Golden State Warriors. Gary Payton II's future with the Warriors all but confirmed if rumors are true. Gary Payton II is remaining patient in pursuit of a return to the Warriors. Whenever the Jonathan Kuminga saga is finally resolved, Gary Payton II intends to re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. It's a development that falls in line with the need for depth on a roster that's already found its big three. Moreover, it's confirmation that the Warriors haven't lost the opportunity to build a contender due to the excruciating restrictions that have resulted from the months-long negotiations with Kuminga. Golden State has put the pieces in place to make a run at a championship. Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green have the potential to set the standard for big threes, with accolades and postseason success in abundance between them. The financial ramifications of the Kuminga saga, however, have prevented the Warriors from adding to the roster during the 2025 offseason. According to Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report, Payton has been in touch with the Warriors and remains patient as they work out the logistics of how he can re-sign once the Kuminga saga concludes. A lot of the ancillary pieces, these veterans like DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, all these veterans have been patient and in full communication, to my understanding, with the Warriors front office that they would be amenable to finding some type of agreement once any possible sign-and-trade situation with Jonathan Kuminga got resolved. Payton has spent the better part of 5 seasons with the Warriors and remains on pace to add to his legacy as a fan favorite. Gary Payton waiting Jonathan Kuminga process out, hopes to re-sign. Payton, 32, was a key contributor when the Warriors won the 2021-22 NBA championship. His defensive intensity and all-out effort on the offensive glass made him a thorn in opposing team sides whenever he was on the court. That materialized on multiple occasions during the 2022 postseason, including a 15-point and 3-steal performance in a crucial Game 5 win during the NBA Finals. It's been 3 years since then, but Payton has remained an essential figure in the Warriors' locker room and rotation. He briefly departed to play for the Portland Trail Blazers in 2022-23, but was back with Golden State by the end of the season. Payton has remained with the franchise ever since, but injuries have unfortunately limited his availability. Thankfully, the Warriors saw a change for the positive on that front in 2024-25. Payton appeared in 62 games for Steve Kerr, averaging 6.5 points, 3.0 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.9 offensive boards, and 0.8 steals in 15.0 minutes per game. Those numbers translate to 15.5 points, 7.2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2.1 offensive boards, and 2.0 steals per 36 minutes, impressive production that's accentuated by his 57.4% shooting from the field. A no-nonsense player who takes care of the ball offensively, creates turnovers defensively, and crashes the glass at a high level for his position, Payton is a valuable contributor. That much was proven again in 2024-25, when the Warriors outscored opponents by 3.4 points per 100 possessions when he was on the court. The Kuminga saga continues to leave the Warriors in limbo, but it appears as though Payton will be back with the team once it's been resolved. Warriors have painfully obvious solution to Jonathan Kuminga's free agency. As the Golden State Warriors have attempted to come to an agreement on a short-term, tradable deal with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, the two parties have come to a disagreement over whether the deal will include a team or a player option, effectively leaving them at an impasse that has completely stagnated the team's offseason. Yet, on the recent episode of the KOC show, special guest Wosny Lambra suggested that, by extending the guaranteed money and the years on the deal slightly, the Warriors could avoid disaster by ensuring they do not lose Kuminga to an open market next offseason. While this framework would not be ideal for Golden State, given their desire for flexibility beyond their current 2-year championship window, it could be the preferable alternative to missing out on any return value entirely. More money and an extra year could be the sweet spot for Jonathan Kuminga. As the offseason has worn on, it has become clear both from Kuminga's statements and the actions of his representation that he seeks, to some extent, to be valued by the Warriors on his next deal. Yet, as the organization has held firm to its offer of 2 years and $45 million, with a team option after the first year, Kuminga's camp has held out for more favorable terms. However, as Lambros suggested, it just makes no sense to pretend that Kuminga leaving next offseason for absolutely nothing wouldn't be a complete disaster. So, to me, they should up the offer, make it 2 years guaranteed, give him his player option on the third. Although Golden State has significant leverage given the fact that Kuminga is a restricted free agent and has received no offer sheets from rival organizations, the young forward still maintains his right to accept his qualifying offer of $7.9 million. Doing so would bring Kuminga back next year, but it would effectively guarantee they would lose him in unrestricted free agency the year after. Moreover, as Lambert goes on to point out, the proposed framework of a 2+1 contract is markedly similar to that of Jalen Green's, a player who was just moved to the Phoenix Suns in the blockbuster Kevin Durant deal. If Green's 3-year, $105 million is movable so quickly after it was signed, it is quite possible that an increased offer to Kuminga could still do very little to limit the team's flexibility on the trade market down the road. While such a decision would certainly put further restrictions on the moves the team could make this offseason, perhaps even cutting out one of their supposed handshake deals with veteran free agents, it could be what is necessary to eventually get value in return for their prime trade asset. Warriors reportedly pursuing $112 million, 21.2 ppg forward from West rival. The Golden State Warriors might have a big move up their sleeves. This summer has been an interesting one in Golden State. After injuries ended its season in the second round, Golden State has made almost no moves this offseason as it awaits the end of the Jonathan Kuminga saga. Considering Kuminga's restricted free agency has already held up some key free agent signings, the Warriors might have to wait on him before making any moves. However, one potential big swing for the Warriors could be on the table when everything is resolved. Can Golden State get Trey Murphy 3? Not much has gone right for the New Orleans Pelicans in recent years, but hitting on Trey Murphy 3 in the draft was certainly a bright spot. Seen as one of the top young forwards in the league, Murphy's potential has kept New Orleans from putting him in any trades amid all of the team's dealings. Yet, as NBA insider Jake Fisher recently reported, the Warriors have still made some attempts to acquire the young forward. As Fisher notes, those attempts have been swiftly blocked by the Pelicans, and for good reason. New Orleans' young forward is under contract through 2028-29 and just averaged 21.2 points per game last season, even playing as the number one option in some stretches. While making any deal for Murphy would be tough for Golden State, the Pelicans simply don't appear open to the idea of shipping him out. While Golden State has managed to make some big moves in the past, it might be too tall of a task this time around. Al Horford, other Warriors free agents in holding pattern awaiting Kuminga's situation to resolve. The Golden State Warriors currently have 9 guaranteed contracts on the books for next season. While other NBA teams are filling their 14th and 15th roster spots and signing guys up for training camp invites, the Warriors largely remain in a holding pattern while the Jonathan Kuminga restricted free agency plays out. Golden State doesn't know precisely what it has to spend until Kuminga's contract is on the books. That leaves free agent Al Horford in a holding pattern. He's going to sign with the Warriors for at least the taxpayer mid-level exception, $5.7 million. But everything is on hold, something NBA insider Jake Fisher talked about at Bleacher Report, Hat Tip Hoops Rumors. Fisher said the Warriors remain very confident they will sign Horford. Al Horford's situation is a bit different because, depending on where the Warriors land in a cap/tax situation, I believe he is slated to make upwards of the full taxpayer mid-level exception. There has also been some discussion about whether or not he could potentially be receiving a 2-year deal with a player option as well. Horford would bring the Warriors up to 10 guaranteed contracts. They would need to sign at least 4 more players, all for the minimum. Players linked to the Warriors include Gary Payton II, Seth Curry, DeAnthony Melton and Malcolm Brogdon, Fisher said. It all comes back to Kuminga, a situation likely to drag out into next month and closer to the start of training camp at the end of September. If, as expected, he and the Warriors work out some kind of compromise around the two-year, $45 million offer the team has on the table, that would leave the Warriors with enough space below the second apron of the luxury tax to sign Horford to the taxpayer mid-level and sign the other players on minimum deals. However, if Kuminga were to sign the $7.8 million qualifying offer, making him an unrestricted free agent next summer, the Warriors would have more room to maneuver. For now, everything remains on hold. Stephen Curry told he will sacrifice one precious thing if he stays with Warriors, unlike Kevin Durant. Stephen Curry continues expressing confidence about the Golden State Warriors' championship potential. The superstar recently shared optimism about next season, believing Jimmy Butler's first full campaign will significantly impact the team. Stephen Curry's argument holds merit given Butler's contribution to the Golden State Warriors reaching the Western Conference semifinals last season. The team hopes to achieve more with better integration and health. Former ESPN analyst David Jacoby doubts Warriors can deliver another title. However, former ESPN sportscaster David Jacoby believes the Warriors' 2022 championship represents Curry's final ring. He argues that unlike Kevin Durant, Curry made a mistake choosing loyalty over competitiveness. "I love the guys that stay at one place their entire career and feel like Steph is going to be one of those guys. And I think he will sacrifice his ability to win another championship or go to the finals to stay in a Warriors jersey for his career," Jacoby explained. "You know who's not going to do that? Kevin Durant, who just joined a 2 seed. And they clearly got better on paper because they're a young team and everyone's going to take a leap next year." Jacoby pointed to the improving Houston Rockets as evidence of the Warriors' declining competitiveness. "The Rockets are better than they were last year and they went toe-to-toe with the Warriors in Game 7. Kevin Durant's championship pursuit continues with promising Rockets." Kevin Durant left Golden State in 2019 with 2 championships and Finals MVP awards but hasn't reached the finals since. His move to Houston provides renewed championship hope alongside the Rockets' promising young core and impressive depth. The Rockets pushed the Warriors to 7 games last season despite their youth. A potential rematch could yield different results with another year of development. The Warriors face roster construction challenges before competing at the highest level. They must resolve Jonathan Kuminga's contract situation and add experienced contributors to complement their aging core. If these issues get resolved, future playoff matchups between Durant's Rockets and Curry's Warriors could provide compelling storylines.